defensively. They've had a couple good plays, a couple well-executed plays, but it's been very herky-jerky, and this guy knows it. There just hasn't been any continuity whatsoever. And what a plus it could be for New York if they could get some points on the board, even a field goal before halftime.
Good deep man in now for the Giants, number 83, Odessa Turner.
2nd and 10, over the middle again to the 32-yard line, and that time it's Mark Ingram, the wide receiver, who found an open spot, and that's a first down, and the clock continues to tick down. 1:24 and moving.
And the Giants still with all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
From the shotgun again, and over the middle, and that time almost picked off by Coleman, right in his hands.
And Mark Bavaro was the intended receiver. He hadn't yet made his cut, and I don't know what was going on there. It appeared to be some sort of confusion. Mark was about 2 seconds behind the throw. Watch, by the time he makes his cut, the ball's by him.
They were on different pages here. Bavaro pulled up and turned. He read the defense. He read it as a pull-up and hook. Sims read it as though he would continue.
Right, as if he was going to keep moving across.
And you can see Sims with his palms up saying, what's going on? 2nd down and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Here comes the corner blitz.
He steps up, throws for the corner, and it's caught at the 15-yard line by Manuel, who's taken down by Brian Davis, stopping the clock with 1:07.
Bill Sims got the best of all worlds. He came out of the pocket
and
found an open receiver near the sideline, stops the clock, does not have to use the timeout, and he draws a flag.
Well, Lionel Manuel that time running the good route, but the key was Sims and his ability to move. Bought some more time. As Redskins took a chance with the blitz and ended up with the play.
Personal foul, number 58, defense, blow to the face after the ball was dead. Half the distance, first down.
Marshall whacked Bavaro well after the play.
A good 10 seconds after the play.
There it is. And half the distance takes it down to the 7. 1st and goal. 1:07 left in the half. Sims, flag thrown. Man sacks him. We'll see about the flag. It's thrown at the 7.
You got to give that one to the secondary of the Redskins, because that was good blocking up front. And this one looks like it's going to go against Washington again.
That's good coverage, all right.
Well, that's good for another first down. That'll be automatic.
And half the distance.
Good protection that time, though, by the offensive line.
Number 58, defense,
Wilbur.
half the distance to the goal line, first down.
Maybe that's why the protection is so good. Let's take a look at it.
Well, Wilbur on the daily double, heading for the trifecta here. 2 penalties in a row on Wilbur Marshall. And the Giants in a hurry to get something in the end zone.
1:01 left in the half, and as Sims brings the Giants up to the line, he does not take the timeout. Washington took the timeout. The Redskins took the timeout.
Well, you could see that coming. The Giants charged to the line of scrimmage and then split 2 receivers out to the one side. There's no way the Redskins were in a position to set up defensively that quickly, and that's a smart timeout by Joe Gibbs Ball Club.
The recent history of
Those Raiders.
1st and goal. The Giants in this half have 7 first downs, 5 on this drive. Maurice Carthen is in as the blocking back, number 44. And he'll block for Morris, but what a play by Dave Butts.
Oh, man.
But a face mask. Of all things, after the play by Butts breaking through the face mask.
And again, the Giants pull a guard in front of Dave Butts, thinking he can't catch a play. Take a look at this. The guard in front of Butts, the whole offensive line is pulling. And look at this, they don't think he can catch the play. And it's actually Riesenberg, the guard, who gets face masked on the play. It's not the ball carrier. Butts has a hold of Doug Riesenberg, number 72.
Everybody.
And then he gets Morris.
He just collected everyone in the area.
Well, this is steer wrestling here by Big Dave. Grab a handful, big guy.
And another first down for the Giants.
First and goal with 56 seconds.
What are these run characteristic mistakes, wouldn't you say, though, Dan, Al, for the Redskins?
Very much so. Timeout called here by the Giants.
Place at the 10-yard line, and they marched it off from the 10-yard line half the distance down to the 5.
Right.
And you would notice that.
Well, I had the privilege of looking at a replay.
And Sims nearly gets sacked, and in fact, he was in the grasp and control of Olkowitz, number 52.
And Olkowitz timed that blitz beautifully. Neil Olkowitz. Take a look at Neil Olkowitz right here. Watch him make his move right up the middle. He times this beautifully. And there's no way that Phil Simms has a chance. Sneaks right behind Darrell Grant. That's Otis Anderson, or is that Zeke Moet? That's Zeke Moet coming in, trying to make the block, and just can't pull it off.
And again, Moet playing in a very unfamiliar position.
Second and goal. Sims has it tipped away by Green, who goes high in the air to take it away from Manuel. Even if Manuel caught it, he would have been out of bounds at about the 9. It's third and goal.
All-pro throw, though, by Sims. He knew he couldn't complete it, but he also avoided the pickoff. Monty Coleman is out there. There comes the guy they were really afraid of, Darrell Green.
What a play by Darrell Green. Times that one just as perfectly as could be. Goes up in the air and bats it away. Monty Coleman had a handful of jersey there for just the briefest of moments.
Third and goal, 29 seconds. Giants have one timeout. Adams is in there, and the shotgun with Sims. Sims steps up, throws. Adams has it 6-yard line. It's going to be fourth and goal now. Wilburn makes the tackle, 18 seconds, and the Giants are going to send in the field goal unit. Raul Allegre, who had a very spotty preseason, and in fact his job in a little bit of jeopardy. They looked at McFadden, the former Eagle, this week. The Giants...
Last couple of years, Mark Bavaro.
Allegre, who missed 2 from 38 and 47 in their final preseason game against Cleveland last week, has a chip shot here. And puts it through. So as the half ends, the Giants at least come away with 3 on their only impressive drive of the half as they march down deep into Redskin territory. And at halftime at the Meadowlands, it's Washington 13 and the Giants 3.
To ABC commentators.
Will kick the field goal to end the first half. Kicks off to begin the third quarter. And a spinning kick 2 yards deep in the end zone. The rookie Mike Oliphant out of Puget Sound takes it out to the 24-yard line. An interesting case. Didn't play high school football. Became a professional welder. Enrolled in college at age 21. Drafted by the Skins. And Doug Williams now to lead the Redskins. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line.
And it ain't good when there's a minus in front of one of your numbers on your halftime stats. Minus 3 yards rushing for the Giants. I think that better than anything else tells you what kind of a game it has been up front for the New York Giant offensive line and their entire offensive team. That's tough to win a football game with numbers like that.
And Joe Morris is minus 11 for 7 carries.
You know, it's tough to be in a football game with numbers like that, and somehow the Giants have done it.
Only down by 10. Smith. Timmy takes it out to the 30-yard line. Terry Kennard comes up to make the stop. The Giants fortunate that defensively they were able to at least hold the Skins to a couple of field goals on those first 2 Washington drives to stay in the game. 13-3 as we start the third quarter. And there are the numbers for Smith, who set that Super Bowl record with 204 yards.
Redskins are so relentless, their offense is almost self-generating. They come right out and run their big bread and butter play, and they get a quick 6 or 7 yards out of it. They're tough. That offensive line of theirs is really functioning. Look at the blowout.
2nd and 4. And Timmy Smith comes up a little short of the first down.
You know, something I like to watch in the second half of a Redskin game, the way they run the football, is watch the ball carrier when he's tackled. Does he drive forward and fall forward, or has he driven back? And I think more often than not, you find out in the second half, the Redskins generate so much forward momentum that even when the ball carrier is hit, he still falls forward for that extra yard or 2 that maybe he didn't in the first half of the ball game.
The old surge syndrome.
It's just called brute strength finally exacting a toll on the other guy.
3rd and 2. And it's Bryant in there in the backfield in the short yardage situation. Williams throws for Bryant, and his forward progress will net him a first down. They push him all the way back, but he'd gotten out to the 36-yard line. He's pushed back by Andy Hedden. First down, Washington.
Doug Williams, another completion, his first here of the second half. He, by the way, is the Travelers Man of the Year from the Washington Redskins. Travelers, of course, will name their Man of the Year for the NFL at the Super Bowl.
He's also his Bankers Man of the Year, isn't he?
Yep.
He's the recipient of a new long-term multi-million-dollar deal from Jack Kent Cooke and the Redskins.
3 years between, what, 3.2 and 3.5 million? Not bad.
That's what's been reported. First down from the 36-yard line with Monk in motion. And Williams again. Great protection. Throws underneath for Smith. Nice little dance step, and he moves it out to the 39-yard line. Just to follow up on that Jay Schrader trade with Lachey coming to Washington. Not only did they get Lachey, but Bobby Beathard telling me before that the Redskins will receive 4 or 5 draft picks over the next 2 or 3 years. Some specifics to be worked out, but when I asked him what picks, he said, well, I can't really tell you. I said real high. He said not first or second round.
Redskins wouldn't know what to do with any of those anyway.
Bobby wouldn't.
They've only had 3 number 1s in the last 20 years.
2nd and 7 from the 39-yard line. And Smith breaks it for a first down, and a flag comes in at the end of the play.
That might be another face mask with that flag coming in like that.
But there's a 5th-round draft pick of Bobby Beathard's running that football for at least first down yardage, whether or not it'll stand or not.
I think Kenny Hill got his left hand.
5-yard face mask foul. Defense, 5 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, you can see Kenny Hill is going to make the play, and he's going to get his left hand over the top. Take a look. Here's Hill in pursuit. The play is going to come over here. Watch his left hand. It's not going to be his right. It's his left hand. It goes across the back of the helmet and hooks the face mask right over the top of Timmy Smith. That's the inadvertent face mask. There's the right, and then he does get the right on it as well. Well, I didn't even see the right get up there. Now, why'd you guys show a close-up and make me look stupid like that?
That's why we showed it. Here's Smith banged down at the 40-yard line by Eric Dorsey.
Man, I had this all worked out about this left hand, and then
It sounded so good.
it did.
I believed it, even though I saw it wasn't quite right.
I almost tried to push it even after I saw the right.
If you had snorted and grunted a few times, I would have really bought it.
Well, that time the Redskin ball carrier went backwards. Good play up front by Dorsey and the Giant defensive line.
You mentioned before.
Notice I'm changing the subject.
Yeah, I know you are. Quickly. You know, you mentioned before only 3 first-round picks for the Redskins in the 20 years, the last 20. Mark May, Darrell Green, and Art Monk. Not bad.
No.
And Williams upset here because he has to take a timeout.
Well, if you're only going to get...
Not only the record for most total points, but also the record for one team in a regular season game, 72. That mark not in jeopardy here. 13-3 is the score from the 40-yard line. On 2nd and 11, Williams going deep and swatted away by Perry Williams. Terrific coverage. He had position on Gary Clark, and Clark didn't have a chance.
With the exception of that first touchdown, he has turned in some marvelous coverage tonight.
The all-out blitz that time by the Giants forces man coverage. Williams knows it's just him and Gary Clark all by themselves. Just the speed move to the outside, but the key there for Williams was turning around and playing the ball. He turned around, saw the ball when it was delivered, and played it as good as you possibly can do it.
You saw 54. That would be a Lawrence Taylor. That's Andy Hedden. And it might have been a Lawrence Taylor a little closer to Doug Williams. But he's not here.
I wonder what goes through a cornerback's mind when he hears that all-out blitz called in the huddle.
3rd and 10 from the 40. Look out to the backside. The ball is loose. It is intercepted by George Martin, and that would figure. George Martin, who's played more games than any Giant in history.
That's the first interception Martin does not return for a touchdown.
And that's Pepper Johnson that comes on the blitz. Bill Parcells told us he was going to line Pepper Johnson up to the outside and have him try to be effective. the Redskins that time don't even block Johnson. Watch him come from the right side and hit Doug Williams just flush in the back. And the ball clearly not a pass. His arm was not moving forward at the time, and George Martinez, we talked about so many times before, in the right place.
Some of the things you lose in a play. Now watch Williams. He'll even try to make it look like a pass, even though he gets crunched. Now that's a pro.
Well, can the Giants do anything with a break?
They had a good drive, which ended in a field goal. It was their only decent drive of the first half. And Sims has to throw it away, and that's a sack. He was in the grasp at the 34-yard line of Charles Mann.
And he's lucky he didn't get called for intentional grounding. That would have been a loss of down as well.
Manley gets the publicity, but Mann is the man.
Oh, what a game he had against the Bears in the playoffs.
And watch him work.
Last year, 3 sacks. He's playing that way again tonight.
He'll take the inside. We talked about Nelson's left shoulder being the shoulder that he had surgery on back in January. And working it to the inside, man right in Sims' face.
Second down and 21 from the 35-yard line. And it's a low throw, and at the 43-yard line, it's Bavaro, but no. Ball hits the turf. Third down and 21. The paper's blowing around the Giant Stadium now with a wind picking up. Giants coming up here with a 3rd and 21, and that's what's happened thus far. They have made none. They're 0 for 7.
Well, the key there, 3rd and 4, was their best possibility of converting. A lot of long yardage situations in there. 2 12s and a 17.
Third down, 21. Redskins send 4, going deep, and a little bit underthrown because Manuel was moving down the sideline with Brian Davis covering and then had to come back for it. 4th down.
Good coverage by Brian Davis, who really pushed Barry Wilburn at the beginning of the season. Wilburn was a holdout, but there's Brian Davis, number 34, in his second year out of Nebraska. He had good position on that. That would have been difficult for Sims to put that anywhere where he could have caught it.
Rushes on. Landeta gets it away.
Just barely.
Yep, short kick. Fielded at the 24-yard line by Oliphant.
I think that was Odessa Turner, wasn't it?
Oh, we heard him.
Odessa Turner makes the stick. The splat.
He's at their own 25-yard line. 10:05 left, third quarter. Washington on top, 13-3. On opening night, a look there at Carl Banks again, a late signee. Practice this week, and he's seen a lot of action tonight. From the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Smith. Now for the Giants, so much, of course, coming into this game made of Lawrence Taylor and that suspension. And the question now becomes, when will Taylor come back? And the Giants have been pretty adamant about the fact that it doesn't necessarily mean he'll be back in 4 weeks when it's over, Frank. It could be a lot longer than that.
Well, I think it's pretty widely known around this area that Lawrence Taylor has not entered a rehabilitation facility at all. He's been playing a lot of golf, and I presume that he will. He'll have to get some kind of treatment. That's part of the NFL drug policy. But it has not transpired yet.
2nd and 4. Smith stopped for just about no gain.
Further to that, the biggest question I've had asked me all along has been, is he going to be paid? And it comes to about $62,000 a game. The Giants have not stated yes or no. I can flat bet you he won't get paid for it. And I don't see why they just don't come right out and say that he's not going to be paid for it. I don't see why they call it a substance abuse. Why don't they call it drug abuse? This stuff is ruining this game of football. And it has to eventually start turning the public off, and something has to be done, even much more than being done today.
3rd and 4 from the 31. Williams pressured that time and incomplete. Looking for Gary Clark.
Frank, I want to add something to that. I don't know that drugs are ruining the game of football, but I know that they're ruining the lives of some of the people that play the game of football. I mean, it's certainly tainting the image maybe of all sports and all of society as well. But in reality, it boils down to what's happening to the individuals involved. How it destroys.
It continues.
Yeah, how it
First,
destroys.
second, third time offenders.
And the league's going to really have to come up with a more equitable policy in terms of punishment, because it is kind of absurd when you think about Manley and Taylor, and Manley is here tonight and Taylor is not. Bad kick off Cox's foot, and it's down at the 47, and that was a bad snap by Mike Scully, and they've had a lot of problems with the snapping during the preseason. It's continued tonight. Dexter Manley has not been a real happy guy for the most part tonight. He wants to see more action. He has been in there sparingly as he paces the sideline. He's not in there now. First down from the 48-yard line as Phil Simms retreats and throws over the middle for Joe Morris for a gain of 5, and deep downfield a flag. And holding his arms outstretched is Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles, I don't know if he committed a foul or not, but he sure acted guilty. If it's not on you, Todd, don't give it the old who me. That's a surefire indication to everybody in the stands and on TV that it might be you.
Don't say I didn't do it until they catch it.
That's right. Find somebody to stand behind.
Holding, number 40, defense, 5 yards, first down.
See, there's a perfect example. It's on Alvin Walton, and yet Todd Bowles was the guy acting like it was on him. Bowles might have thought it was on him. He might have just dodged a bullet.
And Jorgensen says, I've seen that movie before.
Yeah.
First and 10 at the 46. Simms off the fingertips of Bavaro, who had position on Walton. Second and 10. 8:05 to play, third quarter. Redskins on top 13-3.
Good looking play that time by the Giants. We saw single coverage on Mark Bavaro. That's because Wilbur Marshall, number 58, comes on the blitz, and this time he's ridden to the outside pretty effectively by William Roberts. Wilbur gets in there late. If Simms would have had to hold the ball for another second, Marshall would have made the play, but as it was, Roberts, the left tackle, was effective.
Second and 10. Simms, and he finds Morris, and Morris breaks a couple of tackles and adds 10 more down to the 22-yard line.
Those 10 additional yards were out of the frustration that I think Joe feels from the lack of finding any holes on the offensive running game, and he just puts his head down and he becomes the biggest man on the field right here.
What was Dustin Hoffman's movie, Little Big Man? I think this is an excellent example right here. Look at the balance and the power and the low body lean, keeping those shoulders low to the ground. Richie Pettibone, the defensive coordinator of the Redskins, this is a situation, a place on the field where he loves to blitz.
First and 10 from the 22. Not this time. And the pass is off the fingertips of Manuel.
What a throw by Phil Simms.
Was that beautiful, and what an angle our camera had. Phil Simms dead on stride to the sure-handedest receiver he has out there.
He's working against Barry Wilburn, Lionel Manuel. Again, single coverage, and Wilburn beaten on the play. Ooh. Looks like Lionel just misjudged where the ball was going to come. Rather than hit in the center of his two hands, it glanced off the outside of his right hand.
You know what you do? You come back and say, let's just do it all over again.
Wilburn is being pressed for a starting spot by Brian Davis. Second and 10 from the 22. And again, it's Manuel working on Wilburn, but Simms looks the other way and into the end zone, knocked away, intended for Zeke Moat.
At that time, the Giants wasted a good pickup of the blitz. A double blitz. Wilbur Marshall, Neil Olkowitz both came and were both handled effectively.
And Bowles takes care of the defense in the secondary with 7:07 to go in the third.
Boy, and one of the guys up front is Joe Morris that makes the block on Olkowitz coming up the middle. And boy, you hate to squander an opportunity like that. Olkowitz comes out now that the Skins will go into their nickel situation. There's Joe Morris right there with the block. Thanks, guys. Good look at it up in the middle. Moat just timing off. Went up a little early.
Shotgun, third and 10 from the 22. Spins. Flag is thrown. He hits Ingram for a first down at the 7. A marker is down, and Manley is in a scrap back at the 35. Manley and William Roberts. The takedown. Damian Johnson is right there. A two-pointer.
I think William Roberts was going to be the guy that was flagged for holding Dexter Manley to begin with. Dexter took a hard upfield rush, and it looked like Roberts dragged him to the ground. And look out, George Adams and Wilbur Marshall exchanging phone numbers.
Adams wants a piece of his paycheck. And the umpire took a shot as well that time, Ron Farish.